So for this cylinder, we know that the surface area is equal to the volume. So that will be helpful if we know how to find surface area and volume. And then we're asked to find the surface area and volume. So if you don't remember how to find the surface area of a cylinder, how can we be reminded of that? Well, here's a good resource. If you just look up surface area of a cylinder, you get a formula for that. So we get the surface area is 2 pi times the radius times the height plus 2 pi r squared. So we'll write that over here. And then volume of the cylinder, we can do the same thing. Just Google volume of a cylinder. We get a formula for that. Pi r squared times the height. So we'll put that up here. And now we know that these two values are equal to each other. So if the area is equal to the volume, then we just set this equal to this, and that's what we've got here. Now, the radius is 2.5 centimeters, and the height is x. So we're going to substitute in those things that we know. So 2 times pi times the radius times the height, which is x, plus 2 times pi times radius squared, so 2.5 squared equals pi times the radius squared, 2.5 squared, times the height, which is x. And then we can simplify a little bit. 2 times pi times 2.5. 2 times 2.5 is 5, so that gives us 5 pi times x plus, let's see, order of operations says we have to do exponents before multiplication. So 2.5 squared is 2.5 times 2.5. So that's 6.25, and then we multiply by that 2. We get 12.5. So this is 12.5 pi. And that equals, let's see, 2.5 squared, we just did that here, is 6.25. So 6.25 pi times x. Alright, so now we've got, let's identify some stuff here. So even though pi sort of looks like a variable, it's really just a number. So got to remember that. X is our variable, so we got a variable here and a variable here. And then these guys are numbers. So even though this looks quite a bit different, it's really the same kind of problem as something like this. And so we're just going to follow the same steps. So right now we've got variable on both sides of the equal sign. So we need to get them off of one side and all collected onto another side. And 6.25 pi is more than 5 pi. So I want to subtract the 5 pi x off of this side. Why would I do subtraction? Because the 5 pi x and the 12.5 pi are added to each other. And so this is a positive 5 pi x, so I'm going to subtract 5 pi x, and 5 is the same as 5.00. So over here, 5 pi x minus 5 pi x is 0. So on the left, all we have left is 12.5 pi. And on the right, 6.25 pi minus 5 pi is 1.25 pi times x. And so what operation is happening to x? It's being multiplied by 1.25 pi. So the inverse operation would be to divide by 1.25 pi. So 1.25 pi divided by 1.25 pi is 1, and 1 times x is x. On this side, pi divided by pi is 1, so these kind of cancel out. And 12.5 divided by 1.25 is 10. I'll just prove it to you. 12.5 divided by 1.25. I can tell it was 10 because the decimal place was just moved over 1. So x equals 10. So that's part of our answer, but now we need to find the surface area and the volume. And we can do that now because we know that x is 10, so the height of our cylinder is 10 centimeters. So we're going to use our same formula for surface area. So we're just going to substitute in the known values now. The radius is 2.5 and the height is 10 centimeters. So 2 pi times 2.5, and I'll put the units in just to show you how the units line up right with the answers at the end. So that was the radius times the height, 10 centimeters, plus 2 pi times the radius squared, so 2.5 centimeters squared. And now we just need to multiply, so 2 times 2.5 was 5. 5 times 10 is 50. So 50 pi, and then centimeters times centimeters is square centimeters. 2.5 squared was 6.25 times 2 is 12.5. Got that up there. So plus 12.5 pi, and then centimeters squared. Add those together. 50 pi plus 12.5 pi is 62.5 pi. So this is your exact surface area. And then if you wanted to get an approximate value, because most people can't visualize how many pi's, what that looks like, you would just grab a calculator, 62.5 times, and if there's no pi button, I know on this, oh, there's pi button, ding, 196 point blah 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 blah, and we'll go ahead and round to 2 decimal places here, so 196.35, because it's 349er, and that's closer to 35 than to 34. So 196.35. 196.35 squared square centimeters is the surface area, approximately. And now for the volume, we're just going to substitute what we know as well. So pi r squared, so 2.5 centimeters squared, times the height, which is 10 centimeters. 2.5 squared was 6.25. Centimeters squared is centimeters squared times 10 centimeters. 6.25 times 10 is 62.5 times pi. Centimeters squared times another centimeters is centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters. And notice that we have the same number, 62.5 pi square centimeters for the surface area, 62.5 pi cubic centimeters for the volume, and so that's approximately 196.35 cubic centimeters. So our big final answer is x equals 10. Surface area is approximately 196.35 square centimeters, and the volume is approximately 196.35 cubic centimeters. Ding!